Hello, everyone. Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about budgeting, and we had a good bit of a warm up today on the live, but now we're cooking with big guns. It's going to be exciting. We're going to be talking about how to save money, because when you start your investing property journey, it's important to budget and learn how to budget, because saving money is like making more money and actually easier. Saving $1 is identical to making $1, but with probably usually a little bit less effort. And Joe O'Brien, I used to go to school, Joe, back in the day. You went to Cardine, didn't you, Joe?
I certainly did go to Cardine, yes.
There you go. Yeah, so we went to the same college. Joe is actually a stand-up comedian and also does ghost tours and is an excellent barista, so multi-skills. And one thing about Joe, if you look at her arms, she's got all these passport tats of different countries, because she's been to just about every country in Australia, not Australia, in the world. I keep seeing on Facebook, you've been everywhere, Joe. So when it comes to squeezing the most out of frequent flyers, how to do budgeting, you have just nailed it, which is great. So I'd love to talk to everyone and just tell them about what you've done. And we'll start from here, and it'd be great. Okay, let's go.
All right. What would you like me to start off with, George?
Well, I think we start off with the electricity, because I thought that was really good. And what I'll do is, if everyone wants to type in any questions you've got while we go along, we'll go to the Q&A afterwards, even if you've got property questions, because obviously we're here to talk about property as well. But I thought budgeting is a good one to talk about. Let's start with how much and how you save electricity. That'd be great. And I'd like one of our team, to calculate how much. I think we've calculated it earlier, and that'd be good. Okay, let's go. Electricity.
Okay. Electricity. So I got my bill down from roughly $1,000 to around $260 a quarter. So basically my electricity for a year is now as much as it was for a quarter, which is quite amazing. So the way that I did that is I did a bit of research about what I was using in my house that was consuming the most electricity. Did you know that power is actually cheaper between 10 o'clock in the morning and 2:59 p.m. on weekdays? So that's your off-peak time. So it doesn't work for everyone, but I do have Mondays and Tuesdays off. That's when I do my washing and I use my dryer. Also, your dishwasher uses a lot. So I'm a single female. Yes, I know, guys, how. And I now hand wash my dishes twice a day. I saw you got that joke there, George. Thank you. Hand wash my dishes twice a day, run high frequency through the dishwasher, just maybe once every 3 weeks or so. So that's cut down my electricity so much. It's ridiculous. It's also a waste of water, really, when you think about it. When it's hot, I only use the air conditioner sparingly, so half an hour bursts. I have 10-foot ceilings, so sometimes I have to. And in winter, I didn't use my heater. I went out and invested, as much as it pains me to say, in an hoodie. They are the warmest, ugliest things in the world, but I didn't need to use my heater, and that's why I saved so much in my electricity bill. Another thing that I did was went around my house and figured out what things have standby lights. So anything with a standby light, I turn off. If I don't need it, it's off. Vacuum cleaners, that sort of stuff. So I charge them overnight when I need them. When they're done, turn them off till I use them again. And the last one is my computer. It was always on 24 hours a day. I don't really use it. It was more laziness than anything. So that's how I've managed to save almost $750 per quarter on my electricity.
Okay, so $750 times 4. Someone type this in the chat, because I want to keep a record. We're going to be calculating this. Can one of my team do this for me, please? We'll type that in. Okay, so next, after electricity.
Okay, so food.
Let's talk about food, yes, because
all right.
food is a big expense for a lot of people, especially for me.
And it really is now. So what I do once a month or so is I do a bulk cook. I only buy the ingredients that I need, and I find recipes according to those. I spend a day cooking. I prep everything. I freeze it all. So just on Tuesday, I made around 22, 23 meals for about $60. And we're not talking 2-minute noodles. We're talking chicken breast, roasted chicken breast and vegetables. We're talking ricotta and feta stuffed with spinach pasta shells. We're talking really good, healthy food. But I just bought everything I needed, made the recipes according to what ingredients I was buying, didn't waste anything, and I've got around 22, 23 meals for the next month.
Wow. And how much per meal were you saying that they cost? That was
Around
about
$2.40, $2.50 a meal. So
$2.50 a meal. That's amazing. And they're nice to eat.
they're lovely. And I can't eat a lot of ready meals because I'm allergic to a lot of stuff. So for me, I know what's in it. I know it's healthy. I know I've cooked it. And, I've got enough variety there. I've got 5 different meals I can choose from. So, and if it all fails, just have a baked potato with some bacon and sour cream. Can't go wrong.
Okay. Wow. So that's a lot of saving, because I'd imagine most people would spend at least $20 on a meal. And
Mm,
if you're saving around $20 a meal, those savings add up. Because you think
yeah.
about, because if you've got 3 meals, that's $60 a day that you're saving. If you've got 2 meals, that's $40 a day. That's big dollars.
I've been to Italian restaurants and they've had the same meal that I cook, which is the feta and ricotta spinach shells with a pizzata, and it's about $26.
Yeah.
26, and it's probably got loaded with garlic, so I can't eat it anyway. But I can make that for much less. Yeah.
Okay. So meals, great. And what's next on the agenda?
Well, we're going to say eating out. So my big tip is I do eat out. I don't
Yep.
just sit there with my microwave meals. I use an app called Eat Club. It releases lunch at 11:30, dinner at 5:30. Places in your local area where you can go and get 30% off most of the time. So yeah, that saves the temptation to get Uber Eats because I can go and get exactly the same food that I would have if I paid full price if I feel like going out. And it's a bonus if it's food and drinks as well, because that's extra cheeky.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's the same meal you're going to pay for anyway, just discounted,
That's right. Yeah.
which is pretty good. So there you go. So therefore, you're saving 30% there. I would say that's another, let's say, $50 a week. If you can add that, please, Kim. Excellent. And then what's next on the agenda?
I didn't mention it in the other one, but entertainment. So
Yep.
the Fringe coming up, I have a Fringe budget and I spend a lot on Fringe tickets and I try to support as many acts as I can. I've joined Bank SA. It cost me $170 a year, I think, for my credit card, and I get 25% off most Fringe tickets. And I make that back really, really quickly.
That's a good idea. I like it.
And
Fringe, by the way, for those people that aren't in South Australia, is a big festival in Australia, South Australia, that we do with lots of artists. If you haven't been, you should come along. It's awesome. I'm definitely going. I think I've seen you at the Fringe before, Joe. You've performed
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
Joe does some amazing comedy. She's hilarious. And I try to go to all your shows. Have you got any shows this year?
Not at the Fringe. I'm tour guiding this year at the Fringe. So
Oh, you're
my
tour
week,
guide. You're doing a ghost tour.
I'm doing ghost tours. Yes, yes, of
There you go.
Capun, the Old Adelaide Jail, and Port Adelaide. Yeah.
Aha. Well, if you want to do a ghost tour, look up Joe O'Brien at the Fringe. It's worthwhile. It's going to be good. Okay, so entertainment, that's a great idea. I like that.
Also, if you're a moviegoer like me, join the Hoyts Club. It's like $15 a year. You get 25% off tickets.
There you
It's
go.
just going to movies.
That's pretty good. 25% off for $15.
Yeah, it's great for a whole year, and you buy your friends tickets as well. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were talking about petrol.
Yes, petrol.
Petrol. So my biggest expenditure until quite recently was petrol because I do drive a lot. So I use an app called Petrol Spy, and it tells you in your area where the petrol is the cheapest. And it's amazing because it can be around the corner from my house at $2.19, and just down the road it's $1.76. So it's worth driving 3 kilometres to go and save that amount of money.
3Ks, absolutely. 30Ks,
Yeah,
maybe not. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know people that drive a long way to save money on petrol.
Yeah, kind of the purpose, doesn't it? If you're sort of
Using
using
petrol to save money on petrol. Yeah. It doesn't make sense, does it? No.
no.
And how much do you reckon you save per year on petrol?
Well, I was spending so I would estimate around because I drive so much, around 50-ish dollars a week. But that's again because I've dropped down to the U91. But let's say 50.
Yep. Okay. So that's 2,500 a year. We can add that as well. U91, that's the petrol number, because I used to have a Porsche and used to have U98.
I
Bit
did.
like what I do at the moment. Christina's
Yeah.
got a BM, so it's U95, and mine's U98. So yeah, it sucks. You know, when it's so expensive, isn't it?
But it's so luxurious, George. It's worth it.
I never drive the car. I walk everywhere just about, and I always drive Christina's car. I'm selling my Porsche and buying a house with it.
Oh, see, and you should do that because you're paying insurance, you're paying registration, you know, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
driven my Porsche once in the last 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that cost you how much money for that one drive
Oh,
when you
would have cost me a fortune. And
yeah.
so here I'm publicly saying to everyone, I'm selling the Porsche. I'm going to be budgeting this year. I'm going to put that Porsche into a deposit on a house and do a case study and see if I can get that house to grow enough to buy another Porsche with the profit.
Wow. Oh, we'll keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, it's
Ooh.
going to be fun. So there you go. We've got Kim's doing a great job there. Got the Porsche tuned to run on a 91. Okay, Tony, this is very interesting. I must talk to you about that. I didn't know you could do that. So I got to find out more about that. I'll drive it for you. Claudio, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I was looking for someone to drive it for me.
Kind offer.
Claudio's a lovely guy. He's good. We caught up in Bali when we were there. It was good fun. Okay, so the petrol.
Petrol, yep.
Hair? What about hair?
Hair. Okay, so hair. When I my hairdresser became a nurse, I had to find a new hairdresser, and my hair is very important to my comedy and my brand. So I got quoted $360, I think it was, to dye my hair. Now you can see there's not much of it, but it is blue, and I also have my own dye because I used to buy it from Croatia. I can now get it at Big W, which is great. $360 to dye that much.
Wow.
So I found a hairdresser that just charges me $90, to dye my hair and cut it for me. So I get that done in weeks. So if you look at that saving, so let's say, so 270 minus 90. So I'm not very good at maths. I used to teach English and history, not maths. So someone 180 times.
Kim will work it out. Every 6 weeks, instead of 270, instead of three, how much, sorry? Every 6 weeks.
$270 or $370 they wanted.
Yep, and you pay 90. Yep, there you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. I don't want to.
It's not 1,080 for 6 weeks, Kimberly, because it's only the hair we're doing. We're adding to the rest. Anyway, we'll keep going. Hair. What about makeup?
Makeup. Okay, so the makeup that I buy 2-3 times a year, they have either a buy one get one free or half price. Right now, it is half price for Valentine's Day. Treat yourself to foundation and eye concealer. So basically, I just look at what I've got, what I'm going to need. I do wear makeup every day, and I just buy it. So basically, I'm saving at least $500 at least a year. It would be well more than that, but let's just say that.
Okay, was it E-Club? Yes, it was E-Club.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep. Okay, so that's for makeup. I think, what about, we've done electricity.
Mm-hmm.
Mobile phone? Clothes. Mobile, yeah.
Mobile. I was paying $69 a month, and then I saw I could be paying $40. So I went in and changed my plan to $40 a month, and I get 50 gigs of data, and it's all great. And the only thing I don't have is international calls, unless I switch that on and pay whatever. But it's not really anything I need at the moment. And if I am overseas, I pay $5 a day roaming, which is really good too. So that's a massive saving. That's what, $30 a month.
Yep. Telechoice is $20 a month. Wow, that's pretty good, Susan.
That's excellent. Yeah. So there's that one. Clothes. Yep. So I buy a lot of designer clothes for my comedy. A brand called Dangerfield. I just wait for their outlet. So that's always 50% off. Or I use a selling site called Depop, and I can buy things like the one I'm wearing now, a $90 dress with the tags on, that cost me $20. So it's just a matter of going, it's in my size, it looks pretty good, bang, I'll get it. So I save a lot on clothes. Yeah.
Wow, that's really good. So How did you start working all this out? Um,
So my financial circumstances changed. I was no longer working full time and I was no longer married. So
mhm,
therefore, to stay where I'm living and to be able to still maintain a reasonable social life and to keep my mental health in check, I just started researching. I mean, how because I'm not eligible for Centrelink and I'm a casual worker, so money's not guaranteed. How can I make sure I keep afloat and make sure that I'm kicking those financial goals? So that's pretty much why I started doing these sort of things. And it's not like I don't treat myself. If I see something and I've got the money for it, because as soon as I'm paid, George, I put it straight onto my credit card.
yep,
So therefore, because I use my credit card for everything because frequent flyer points.
yep.
So um, basically, if I've got the money, I can have it. But if I can't, I don't. And it's not like I go without anything, or any of that sort of stuff. So it's just a matter of being positive. And to me, it's almost an adventure doing this sort of stuff, going, okay, well, I need to cook some meals. And I can only eat certain ones. All right, what can I cook? So I spend a day researching different recipes and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's kind of, I mean, it's not fun, but it's kind of an adventure. And I get pretty excited when the end product comes together. Yeah, yeah.
I love your attitude of this, Joe, but also why the reason I wanted to introduce you to our community is because I didn't want to say, hey, sit home and eat baked beans, because that's not living a life.
No,
You do this, but still live your life just as well as anyone else. And that's the important part. Saving
absolutely.
money and actually having the quality is the hard part. It's easy to save money, but it's hard to save money and have quality. And you've done that, which is great. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. Everyone, want to type in what's the biggest takeaway you got from this? I'd be curious. Any other tips you've got for us?
Yeah, actually, this might be a bit contentious. But one thing that I've found really, really useful is if I've got any spare money, I chuck it in a high interest account.
Hmm.
I research where I'm going to get the most out of that and
Yep.
chuck it. And if I can walk away with 5% interest in a month, that's a bit of extra spending money for me. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I can treat myself a little bit more.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Someone said the e-club sounds cool. That's my takeaway. Put in your offset account. Yep. Kimberly, let's find out the total. That'd be great per year.
Not including clothes because I'm not quite sure on that one.
Yeah, let's not worry about clothes.
What?
$35,120 per year. That's like having a second job.
That's huge.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
High five coming through the Zoom. That's good. There you go. You probably didn't even know you were saving that much. That's a lot of money.
I really didn't. Yeah. 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 And I just, wow, that just blows my mind. So I hope this has been useful. Um, and I've done a lot of research on everything because I just want people to live within their means, but still love their life and be able to live a life instead of, not thinking they can afford things. And it's not like I don't go without anything. I eat extremely well. I dress well, usually. My hair always looks great. So, it's just those little things that I've learned over the years that hopefully are useful for people. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome. Now, what's your stage name for your comedy? Is it
Uh, my,
Joe or yeah?
it's the Joe O'Brien. The
The Joe O'Brien, the Joe O'Brien. If anyone wants to look her up, it's the Joe O'Brien. She's hilarious. You are certainly so funny. Me and Christina love going to your shows. They're
Thank you.
fantastic. They're
You're
very
really,
original. Oh, you've been doing comedy for so long. You're a natural. You know what I mean? You don't have to
yeah,
try because
yeah.
you really know how to hit those punchlines and deliver, which is great. Anyone else got any questions for Joe while she's here? Having a
Having
credit card is detrimental to borrowing. It can be, but you can always put it down. A joke for us here. Well, look, comedians more do performances than jokes. I don't think Joe wants to do a joke because it's not going to land because you need to build that rapport in the story. Is that right? Pre-cooking food to start.
yeah,
Yep.
I'm a bit of a storyteller. So my quickest joke
Maybe you
would
can tell
be,
us a story. Tell us a story. It'd be great.
oh, um,
Even,
yeah,
even a true one about you. We'd love to hear a story. It'd be great.
Okay, all right. Very, very quickly. Very, very excited at the moment. I didn't share this with you, but I will now because I feel like we're all friends. I
Yep.
just celebrated my 24th year wedding anniversary. 24 years I've been married. We've been married for 24 years. Isn't that amazing? Most people don't make it that long. We didn't either. We're divorced.
Yep.
But I love a good party.
That's good. That's good. Oh, what credit card do you use, Joe?
Okay, so I researched the best earning on credit cards. So Qantas points are my jam. I've managed to fly internationally to so many countries in either business or first class because I was such a snob using Qantas frequent flyer points. So have a look at what's going to get you the best bang for your buck in bonus points. Most places want you to do a 3,000 minimum spend in the first 3 months, which will net you between 70,000 points and 100,000. For example, just over 100,000 points is one business class ticket from Adelaide to LA. That's about 1,008. So that's how you get your best bang for your buck. And pretty much, I know cash is king, but everything goes on my credit card. I do the little app here as well. So if I reach my movement and put my phone down by 11:30, I get frequent flyer points. And also things like I do Red Planet research. So if I do a survey, I get 200 frequent flyer points. Like I really do collect those points. So at the moment, I'm sitting on 1.25 million frequent flyer points.
Wow.
Which is enough for a lot. So I'm just waiting to be less nervous about flying and head back to the UK and go back to America. Yeah, with all my
Look, I remember before COVID, all I saw was photos of you in first class, business class, and all these beautiful hotels. It's amazing.
so
Where are we
yeah.
going? Adam's like, where are we going?
That's a bit cheeky, Adam. But yeah, it's just all this research, and it does take research, guys. But it's totally worth it. And if you can take anything away from today, it's if I can do it, anyone can. Like seriously, yeah. And as I said, it's almost an adventure.
Who's going to implement some of this in their life, maybe to help you get your next property or your first property? Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking of a few ideas. I'm going to sell my Porsche. So there you go. So that's awesome. Love your work. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're
We're going to enjoy your dinner. Thank you, Joe. Have
all
a good
right.
one. Good night.